How are you?
I'm good, honey. How are you?
I'm great. Talk to me.
It's sunny outside.
I know, finally. Because I feel like it's been so gray for the past couple of days. May gray. No, June gloom.
Double the Prozac dosage gray.
Yeah, I always say that it reactivates my seasonal depression.
Oh, my God. It's like I didn't think I moved to Seattle for a second, but,
Are you from L.A.?
No.
Were
I'm
you
from Vegas.
Oh, you're an anomaly because I feel like no one's from Vegas.
It's weird. It's like very suburb vibes, like conservative folk are there, and I needed to leave.
Yeah. From Vegas or like Henderson?
Vegas.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Are normally people like from Henderson when they say Vegas?
I feel like a lot of people are like from Henderson or like the outskirts.
We call it Hendertucky. If
Oh,
you
is
live
it
in
really
Vegas,
that, like, backwoods?
It's Hendertucky. Well, I don't know. Arguably, I think there's lots of Vegas that are backwoods as well. Like by where my father lives, there's like a little horse crossing sign. Like when you're driving.
There's some of that down the street.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's a lot of
So right at home in Burbank.
What is it called? Estequarians?
Equestrians. Estequarians.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's how it. It's so funny because I was over here trying to use the big word, but then I jacked it up. What is it? Esquarians? Equestrians.
See, I was on the same page. I was waiting for someone to say something.
Yeah, because I had no idea. How's life treating you?
Oh my God, that is a loaded question. I'm just happy it's Pride Month.
I want to hear everything. When you say loaded question, just take me on whatever road you want to walk down.
God. Well, okay. So the first thing that pops up in my mind, I guess, is gender identity, because I think, I moved out from my parents' house and I started living on my own for the first time. And I think when you move out on yourself, you really start to learn a lot about yourself.
100%.
Right. And a lot of questions come up in the air. And so right now, I guess I'm just in like this evolutionary period.
When you say a lot of questions come up in the air, what are some of the questions, I guess, that popped up?
Oh, Lord Jesus. It's like, how do I want to express myself to the world? How do I want to go out? How do I want to, feel when no one's watching? Like, who would I be if no one was on this planet, kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
And then once you kind of have those questions, definitely like, the at-home baking kind of questions.
Like, you know what? I call those the in the shower questions, because I feel like a lot of times they pop up
or
in
long
the shower.
drives.
Right.
Because your mind is just like going down these little rabbit holes and you're spiraling down these soul life-changing questions.
Right. So that question is, so who are you?
Oh, baby. I think I don't even think I'm going to be able to answer that when I'm on the grave, my deathbed. I think I'll probably have somewhat of an answer there. But, I'm such a Libra in the sense of where I'm always
indecisive.
Oh, my God. And Libra with ADHD, baby. But I think the ADHD comes with being a Libra at this point.
I know tons of Libra. My mother is a Libra, and I feel like Libras are probably the most indecisive people out there.
Yes, absolutely. It's like even just to eat breakfast, I'm like, oh, gosh, I don't even know what I want.
Do I want this? I want that.
I want nothing. I just want coffee.
Right. I have a question. So was it hard moving out of your parents' house?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, can I say that? I'm so sorry.
Yes.
I did not know what the rules were.
You can say all types of curses.
Thank God. Okay, so I don't know. I was going to say coffee and a cigarette for a second for breakfast, but it's just treading lightly. I mean, I am very lucky. I have the best parents in the world. They're divorced, but happily divorced. I think at this point, I would rather them be divorced than
be together.
Right. It was just one of those situations.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, Mom and Dad. But so I really, they were there for me for a lot too. And I think when I moved out of my parents' house, I realized like how low-key antisocial I was, because when you move to a new city and you're just a homebody naturally, I feel like Los Angeles is not the place to be a homebody, really.
I absolutely feel like it is, because I'm a homebody. Yes.
So do you ever get like bored though?
No. I love it.
You just love being a homebody?
Yep.
Do you ever feel like a little too lonely sometimes?
Nope.
Oh my God.
You know why? Because I feel like you have to be your own best friend. You have to be your own best friend. When you move from your when you moved as much as I have, I feel like the one thing you have to become is your own best friend.
Yeah. Because no one's really going to be there with you like all the time.
Correct.
Unless you have like a little dog or something. But even then,
But I always tell people, right? I always tell people that when they're trying to start a new journey or they're trying to find themselves or whatever, you have to move away from your hometown. You just have to.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think moving away from my hometown was like the hardest but the best thing I've done, honestly, especially in a crazy city like Los Angeles. I mean, for me, it was either Los Angeles or New York, but, it's so close to home where I kind of have that,
You can literally get in a car, drive 4.5 hours, and you'll be back.
I do.
Do you do it often?
Yeah, because I love long drives, like we were bringing up, because I get a lot of ideas on long drives, and that's where I'll feel like a mysterious screenwriter. I'll have to pull off over the side of the road and whip my notepads out and just start my next feature on the I-15.
Do you use your voice notes a lot?
Hell yeah. Oh my God. Especially because when I'm on the 101 the freeway in Los Angeles, it's like I will literally have to shut off my music and be like, okay, so this is the idea. And then sometimes I'll go back to it like a month later and I'll be like, what the hell was I thinking? This doesn't make any sense. I don't know what I was talking about or thinking about before. So yeah, I do use my voice notes a lot.
Do you feel like that you got popular unintentionally?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. What were you doing? You were like dancing in a newscast or something like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I was just like that kid who, well, I didn't always like the spotlight as a kid. I don't know. That's a lie. I did. Okay. I totally did. Wait, no, I'm totally lying. I did, but I had a period of my life where I started realizing more about who I was and I guess identified as in the closet. I shut myself down a little bit. So once I came out, that's when I kind of had this like explosion of diva, enigmatic energy where I was just like that little persona all the time, I guess you could say. I just kind of felt I released like all of the pop stars in me that were hiding.
How many of them are in you?
5 at the same time.
Really?
Yes.
Do you have
and
names?
An 85-year-old woman named Judith.
Garland? No.
No, I wish. Oh. Hollywood ruined you, Judy. We're fighting for you. No, I actually heard someone say something really healing about Judy Garland. And they said tragic things happened to her, but she was not a tragic person. Like she carried herself with that vibrant energy always.
Isn't that Liza Minnelli's mom?
Yes, it is. And I know she has like 2 other kids too.
Right, yeah.
Which I don't know. Do you know the names?
I mean,
I'm terrible with names.
But if they're not famous, are they famous?
I think one of them does singing.
But if it's not your genre that you listen to, how would you know?
No, exactly.
See?
Like it took me forever to figure out Eliza. I didn't even know that connection was even there until I
feel like it's so funny because a lot of times it'll be like 3:00 in the morning and I will jump down a rabbit hole looking at like people. I can't believe that these two are related. And I stumbled across that those two were mother and daughter.
Oh yeah.
Just stumbled across it. It's not like I was looking for it.
Oh really? You're just like watching some video and you're like, oh.
Like I'm like, how did I stumble across that?
Yeah. I don't even remember how. I do know it was. I was like when I learned it, I was gagged a bit too. I was like, huh.
They're related.
I can kind of see it though now. You know.
If you pull up a picture, never mind. I'm going to keep it moving.
Keep it moving. We're going to respect Judy's name in this house.
We absolutely will. All right. So you see that camera, right? This person's doing this live shot. You decide to do what?
Oh, I thought you were talking about that camera. Yes, I do. Well, it was a mall opening in Las Vegas, and I just saw Spotlight, and I was like, "Oh, are you guys doing interviews?" Because I just wanted that little moment, so my mom and sister and I could just go home and laugh at it later.
Right.
And then they said no, so I just like stuck around in the background, and then I don't know, lights went up, and I blacked out, and this woman took over me, and. No, I'm like I was just being a little diva on camera and I didn't expect anything of it, but I think like within 24 hours, all of my favorite drag queens at the time, well, Michelle Visage, specifically like the guest on Drag Race, reposted it on Facebook. And then that's when my mom was like, gagging a bit. She's like, oh, work.
Seriously?
Yeah. It was definitely
Michelle
an overnight.
Visage.
Literally.
From South Amboy, New Jersey.
Is that where she's from?
Yeah.
I know she's from the East Coast, but oh wow. I know her and Rue have known each other since the 80s, correct?
I think so.
Yeah.
Michelle used to do like a radio show on Hot 92.3.
Yeah.
Which is now.
actually just thinking about that on the way here.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough that we're talking about it.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Michelle.
Oh, absolutely.
What's that group she was in? Seduction?
She's Mother. I don't know.
I think it was
The ballroom? The ballroom group?
No, she used to be in an actual singing group.
Oh, she's
I think so.
She's a singeress?
Stand by. Yeah, I think so. Seduction.
A singstress?
Michelle
Visage. Is that her birth name?
I think so.
Visage.
Yeah, she used to be in Seduction.
Sensual seduction.
Anyway, so let's talk about how important it is for you to talk about mental health.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think I will always say the internet was like the best and the worst thing to happen to me, because it helped me find a sense of community in, because we were a church family, I was raised in Christianity, baptized Catholic. We didn't really practice Catholic, but I found my safe haven through the internet because I would just binge watch all of these coming out videos or just any queer creator at the time. And those are the people I really identified with and helped me formulate how to vocalize what it was that I was feeling.
Right.
And so that was definitely like the best parts of it. But the worst parts of it was just being at such a young age at 15 years old and having so many people from all over having opinions on you, especially like I'm like talking adults, like people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, especially a lot like from the gay community specifically, who I thought would like live for certain things, but internalize like their hatred towards like femininity and things like that, and kind of made it that I at the time was being like this caricature of homosexual man and feeding into stereotypes a bit. And especially like when my mother would get those messages too, and just seeing the effect that it had on her, I think that's where, it really did take a toll on me. And as we discussed, I am a Libra, so I really do. I really care about what people think, honestly. I mean,
really? Still?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think that is something that I will never not have, but something I will just learn to cope with better and handle better. So that's where a lot of like, the second guessing myself came from, a lot of the people pleasing feeding into that, and just that effect that has on someone who is like a freshman in high school, has barely come out of the closet.
Right.
But I think moving forward now at this point in my life, there is there just comes to a point where you get kind of tired of that bullshit. You're like, oh my God, like how much longer am I going to let something like this run my life? Because at a certain point you have to realize you're living your life for other people.
But why does someone else's opinion on the internet that wouldn't have that same energy if you met them in person?
Right.
Why should their opinion matter to you?
Yeah. And that's the biggest question, honestly, to me, that I think I still answer a lot. And I think what I get from it is sometimes that there are internalized insecurities that I have that I'm afraid that other people can see, vice versa. Or, I would like to say I'm a kind of person that does listen to people that are older than me, or that do have more experience than me. So I always like to, take other people's things into consideration, but it's not always the healthiest thing. You really got to choose who you're going to be listening to and who you're going to trust when it comes to things like that.
Exactly.
Right?
So when people say stuff about you or you read stuff online, it shouldn't even matter.
That is the honest to God truth, honestly. That is the truth.
Yeah.
That is the truth. And I will definitely agree with that for a lot of reasons, because I think lately, like coming into my adultness, whatever that means, that is something that I've really been practicing a lot more in remembering, honestly.
How important is it for you to use your platform to talk about things like that?
It is important. Yes. It is also very hard. It is very hard because I guess sometimes I don't want to seem that like, because honestly, I am very blessed in life and I'm very grateful for a lot of things. And so sometimes I'm very careful with how I I guess, vocalize that a lot because I don't ever want to seem that I'm coming across as ungrateful.
Mm-hmm.
But I have found that in the past when, you are vulnerable and you are open about your experiences because we are all human and we all have emotions. There are a lot of people out there that identify with that and are ready to, give you like a little virtual hug, but it helps them out too because, you both don't feel as alone anymore.
Isn't it amazing when someone you don't necessarily know, like, has your back?
Oh,
and
absolutely.
and wants the best for you.
Absolutely. I think that is like the best parts of the internet, that we were talking about, where social media does bring lots of people together and it does offer a sense of support if you are, if you look for that and you obviously are careful with who you trust and things like that.
Right. right. I'm saying, though, because it can be good and it also can be bad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. There's so many people on the internet, too.
And what kills me is like so many people with an opinion.
Right. I know. I actually had to like take a break from Twitter because I was like thinking, I'm like, no other time in history have we had access to so many people's opinions at our fingertips like that before. And I'm like, is that psychologically healthy to be reading that many opinions at once? Because at what point does your voice become yours?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's goods and bads to everything, I guess.
True. Do me a favor and tell me about your non-binary fashion line, he, she, queen.
Yeah, so that was a merch line we came out with Fanjoy. So they do a lot of merchandising for a lot of other creators. And that was at a point where I was just kind of really into just apparel that is all I went so Wendy Williams there, all about just identifying within. And
yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I'd be like, Wendy, can you come in here and read the script? I'll be right there. Thank you.
I recently saw her interview with Omarosa.
Oh.
Do you know that one where they're like fighting on air? It's hilarious.
It's funny because she would do her TV show, and I used to work at the radio station where she was at.
Stop it.
And she would run back to the radio station and do the radio show.
So you've met her?
Yes.
How is she?
She's cool.
We're going off topic.
She's cool. We'll talk about that in a second. Yes. The clothing line.
Yes, the clothing line. So yeah. We I got the idea from name tag inspired. So we had pronoun stitches on each of the shirts and things like that. Just comfortable clothes, and then it was pretty simple. It wasn't anything too crazy though. That's awesome. I would love to have an actual clothing line of some sorts one day.
I mean, put it out in the universe so it can happen.
Right. I really want to think of a way, because I think I thrift a lot, and so I do love vintage cuts because they can bring in the waist a bit more. And I find in a lot of designer vintage fashion, they have built-in corsets in the dresses. Did you know that?
I don't know what a corset is.
It's like a steel bony thingy that just brings in cinches the waist or something. It just adds to the
tinier?
Shape. Yeah, essentially. It's like a belt in the dress. I guess I can think of it. Yeah. So I feel like a little housewife.
Like from the 1960s and 50s.
Yeah. I'm ready to bake a cake.
What are you working on next?
Oh, that's a great question. Such a great question. So, yeah. No, I definitely am writing a lot more recently because I just kind of figured I really just like comedy. I really think I just feel comfortable comedy.
Do you really?
I do. Oh, you're do you?
Just sarcasm.
I know. It's a second away from clown school almost if you think about it. Improv.
No.
I do improv.
I think that's a really
I feel at home at it.
And it's also, I think it's you need to have those skills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I like it because you really come out of your head, because you cannot be in your head when you're doing sketch comedy or the SNL type of things. And especially when you're writing it, you can't just write something down and take it away. So it's a lot of my social media, I do some sort of sketchy kind of things, or even one-liners. It'll usually be a line that I wrote in the car or something like that. But yeah, that's what I think like the biggest life goal for me would just to be doing something related to that, whether I have like my own show, like something like this. I'm not taking your gig though. Don't.
No, you can have it. It's fine. It's a matter.
You can have it. Yeah.
Do your thing. Wrap this up. I'll be back.
Well, Kiss, I am looking for a stable job, honey. The brand deals haven't been coming in this year. Yeah, we're in a recession. Isn't that weird?
Are we?
I guess.
I want to say the R word. I'm in denial.
Yeah, me too. I am in denial of everything, honey. But yeah, that's what I'm mainly working on right now. And because I used to do acting classes and I love other actors, I love other artists, but I feel like the comedy people are really where I feel at home because, it's just playtime.
I could definitely see that in your future.
Right. Oh my God, imagine like 5 years from now, we like look back on this.
Then you got to come back and we got to talk about this.
Whoring myself out on SNL or something like that.
Making that paper though, making that check.
Oh God, I just want to buy my mom a beach house. So that's like, I would like to
in Malibu.
Anywhere she wants, I think, as like just like a set her up with something nice. I think
I'm sure she would love that.
That'd be a life goal of mine to do for sure.
Take care of mama.
Always. Mothers are hearts.
I tried to call mine today, but she didn't answer the phone.
So
my grandmother too.
Yeah, they were like, "All right, we're busy."
That's exactly what I feel like. What are you doing that you can't talk to me on the phone?
Like,
anyway,
I digress.
You
supposed to be working.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh my God, thank you for having me. Seriously, you really brightened my day up today.
Thank you so much.
Seriously.
I appreciate that.
Oh, I appreciate it too. This was like a commingling,
a great
beautiful energy, honey.
That's right. Thank you.
Of course.